All right, sports fans, we got a real humdinger tonight. um, so last night we had the big long how-to lecture on girding and finishers and bleed procs and all that, all that good shit. And I left it off with a few open-ended things that I said I wasn't really sure about, um, such as I wasn't really sure how to handle the Grenier yet, or the Corpus. Um, let's see if there's an opposite tainted clip. There's not. Damn. And I had been dicking around the Prova and just talking about how it had a slash proc. Immediately after that, I finished up. I stopped the stream and I went back and started, poking around with the Prova a little bit more, specifically on a technician. Um, And it's actually a really, really nice fucking weapon for both Grenier and Corpus. Um, I had been talking about ranged options because we haven't really talked about ranged at all. And I was talking about impact as an alternative for bleed procs through uh, what is the pistol mod and internal bleeding. Um, and that kind of got me down a little bit of a rabbit hole. So I just I doodled around the impact page on the wiki just to see what it was, and then there was an addendum to uh, the impact stat proc, and I'm going to show you what that is here. I'm going to turn on invincibility for just a second. So we've got our Viper here. And I've been trying to figure out, you see that yellow little bar right there on the health bar? I couldn't figure out for the longest time what that was. It turns out that's actually the threshold to activate a Mercy Kill with the Parazon. And I had discussed that previously. I thought there was a Parazon mod that did that. Turns out it's the Impact stat proc. So if we do this, you see how it popped up? Maxing out the impact procs, which is 5, will jump that bad boy from 40% to 80% health. There it is again, you see? So it doesn't really matter how much damage we're doing with our rinky-dink little Viper here. That's not its job. Its job is to enable the Parazon kill. And then, just to kind of show off, this is what I've got my Viper set up to do right now. Didn't do that right. Hold on a minute. There we go. So basically just kind of turned it into a laser beam. Functionally worthless, but you know what? It's still fun. And it has its purpose. Even if it doesn't seem that obvious. And no, it's not a 19-point stat bleed proc. It's also just funny than all shit. So, our Viper Wraith. This is just a dumb gun that I've had sitting around for a long time because I wanted to LARP as like a Nyx spy. So she had a glaive, which was the only dagger I could really find that I liked, and a Viper Wraith. And I think I had a shade with her. This was before the cloaking and shade was like garbage, So that was kind of the whole draw of this. It's mostly known for being like a Mac, not a Mac 10. It's even worse than a Mac 10. The automatic version of the Beretta 93, or the broom handle Mauser at full auto. Just kind of a very small magazine, very uncontrollable. Just kind of a bullet hose, and you're mostly just worried about doing a lot of firing a lot of bullets really fast. So this is kind of how we're set up, and we're not honestly really necessary to do this, but we're mostly focused on reload speed, and fire rate. This one's fun. I love this guy. And then also uh, recoil. So we've got steady hands and we've got reflex draw. So that's why you see me switching between the whip and not. And then of course there's skull shot here, which gives you 100% ammo efficiency for 2 seconds on a headshot, as you saw. So you can just kind of just stand there and shoot at the head for however long you want to do that. Not the best setup, not the funnest, not this. It's just a silly thing. It's silly shit, but it does have its purpose. Um, let's look at this thing, the Lecta. You probably haven't looked at this in a few years. It is a, gosh dang, probably rank 0, I believe. A rank, does it tell you? No. Rank 0 whip. And it is known for having slash puncture and electricity. We almost looked at this last night, but we didn't because I think I went into the Sheev or something else. Prova, maybe. I think it was a Prova. Again, nothing out of the ordinary here, we've got Killing Blow, Weeping Wounds, Reflex Coil, Drifting Contact. Let's see. So alone it can probably kill it, much like the Kama could. But when we pair it with this, you're going to see something pretty fun. Yeah. Let's do it again. So we're talking about counters like that. This is another one that gives you a ground, which is really handy. Got a forced proc on the heavy attack. And it gives you a ground, which is also very handy. So you can see it's doing pretty significant damage for basically being unmodded. But now watch this. So we don't have a there's no more bleed. Look at that. The impact proc retroactively moves that threshold for you. This changes everything to me. So we just get in, let reflection, knock one back on her. Yeah. We don't really need that Weeping Wounds if those are forced procs we're dealing with. And now, look at that. Toast. Easy peasy. And I believe the Viper, the regular Viper, is in the it's in the market. The Lecta's in the market. You just build them for nothing for pretty quick. I'll have to go look at what mastery rank the Viper was. But you can replicate this with just about any impact weapon. And really anything that gives you a modest amount of bleed.